It's comfortable. If you're reading this message before, on, or around November 12th, 2025, you need to understand that you are not here by accident. You were guided to these words at this exact moment because the universe, God, the divine intelligence that orchestrates all things, it needs you to know something urgent, something time-sensitive, something that will only be available to you during this specific window. After November 12th, this portal closes. This opportunity vanishes. This particular cosmic alignment that's making the impossible possible for chosen ones, it will not return in this exact configuration for years, possibly decades. So if you're seeing this message right now, stop everything. Read every word, because what I'm about to reveal to you is the confirmation you've been desperately seeking. The answer to prayers you've been praying for months or even years, and the key to understanding why everything in your life has been leading to this exact moment. I'm here to confirm what your soul already knows, but your mind has been too afraid to believe. Your journey through the darkness is complete. The storm that has been raging around you, testing you, breaking you down, stripping away everything that wasn't truly yours. That storm is over. You have crossed the threshold. You have walked through the fire. And instead of being consumed, you've been purified, transformed, reborn into a version of yourself that is so radically different from who you were even a few months ago that you barely recognize yourself when you look in the mirror. And this is not your imagination. This is not you being delusional or overly optimistic. This is real. This is happening. And November 12th marks the moment when everything you've been building in the invisible realm finally manifests in the physical realm in ways that will shock you and everyone around you. Before I go deeper into what's about to happen and why November 12th is the critical date you need to understand, I need you to do something right now that will activate the frequency necessary to receive what's coming. Go to the comments and write 777. This is not superstition. This is energetic alignment. The number 777 represents divine completion, spiritual perfection, the universe confirming that you are exactly where you're supposed to be at exactly the right time. When you write 777, you're creating a spiritual contract. You're saying to God, to the universe, to the forces that have been guiding you through this journey, I see what you're doing. I understand that my suffering had purpose. I'm ready to receive the reward for my perseverance. I'm ready to step into the promised land. So write it now. Write 777 and then come back and continue reading. Because what I'm about to tell you will explain why everything you've endured was necessary, why it all had to happen exactly as it did, and why you're about to enter a season of blessing so abundant that people will think your success happened overnight. But you'll know better. Let me start by telling you what's been happening to you over the last several months, because I need you to understand the magnitude of the transformation you've undergone, so that you can fully appreciate what's about to be released into your life. You have been in what spiritual traditions call the refiner's fire. You have been in the crucible, in the furnace, in the pressure chamber, where the universe takes raw material and transforms it into something precious, valuable, unbreakable. Everything you've been through, every betrayal, every disappointment, every loss, every moment of despair where you wondered if you could keep going, all of it was the refining process. All of it was burning away impurities, stripping away false identities, dissolving attachments to things and people and versions of yourself that were never meant to go where you're going. And here's what makes your transformation different from what most people experience. You didn't just survive the fire, you surrendered to it. At some point in the last few months, you stopped fighting what was happening. You stopped trying to control the outcome. You stopped resisting the pain and the loss and the complete dismantling of your old life. And in that surrender, something miraculous happened. You didn't just change. You were reborn. You didn't just heal. You were completely reconstructed from the inside out. The person you were 6 months ago, the person you were even 3 months ago, that person no longer exists. They died, and you are what emerged from that death. You are the phoenix rising from the ashes. You are the butterfly that broke free from the cocoon. You are the gold that came out of the fire. And I know you feel it. When you look in the mirror, you see someone different. Not just physically, though that might have changed too, but energetically. There's a light in your eyes that wasn't there before. There's a confidence in your bearing that doesn't come from ego, but from deep inner knowing. There's a peace that has settled into your being, even though your external circumstances might not fully reflect your internal transformation yet. People who know you have been commenting on it, haven't they? They keep saying things like, you seem different, or something about you has changed, or you're glowing, and they're not wrong. You are different. You are changed. You are glowing because you've been touched by the divine, transformed by the hand of God, upgraded to a frequency that most people never access in their entire lifetime. This transformation that's happened to you, it didn't happen slowly over years. It happened rapidly, intensely over the course of just a few months as you grew closer to God, as you deepened your relationship with the divine, as you stopped trying to figure everything out with your logical mind and started trusting your soul's wisdom. And that rapid transformation has created what I call reality lag. Your internal world has shifted so dramatically, so completely, that your external world hasn't had time to catch up yet. But it's about to. And November 12th is when the lag ends, when the internal and external finally align, when what you've become on the inside starts to manifest in undeniable ways on the outside. Let me tell you specifically what's going to happen as we approach and move through November 12th, because this is not vague spiritual theory. This is practical, tangible manifestation that you will be able to see, touch, experience in your physical reality. First, you're going to experience what I call divine justice. Everyone who has wronged you, everyone who betrayed you, everyone who stood in your way, everyone who tried to dim your light or steal your peace or block your blessings, they are about to receive karmic retribution. Not because you're seeking revenge, not because you're holding grudges, but because the universe has laws. And one of those laws is that what you put out comes back to you multiplied. And these people put out harm, deception, manipulation, jealousy, sabotage. And now the universe is balancing the scales. You're going to hear about things happening to these people. Jobs lost, relationships ended, reputations damaged, plans falling apart. And at first you might feel a twinge of sadness or even guilt. But don't, this is not your doing. This is divine justice. This is the universe protecting you by removing the people who were toxic to your journey. And more than that, this is the universe clearing the path ahead of you, ensuring that these people cannot interfere with the next chapter of your life, cannot reach you in the elevated reality you're stepping into, cannot touch you ever again because you're ascending to a frequency they cannot access. Second, you're going to experience sudden shifts that seem to come out of nowhere, opportunities that you didn't apply for, connections with people who can open doors you didn't even know existed, money appearing from unexpected sources, solutions to problems that seemed impossible suddenly presenting themselves, doors that were locked for years suddenly swinging wide open, and it's all going to happen so fast that you won't be able to attribute it to your own effort or planning. You'll feel in your bones that this is divine intervention. This is God moving on your behalf. This is the universe rewarding your resilience, your perseverance, your faith, your obedience. People are going to look at your life in 6 months and say, "Wow, you got so lucky," or "You're an overnight success," or "Things just fell into place for you." And you're going to smile because you know the truth. You know that this isn't luck. You know that this didn't happen overnight. You know that this is the result of years, maybe even decades of sacrifice, struggle, scarcity, lack, fear, darkness. You paid your dues. You walked through the valley of the shadow of death. You endured what would have broken most people. And now you're being resurrected. You're being restored. You're being rewarded. Third, you're going to realize your purpose with sudden crystal clarity. For years, maybe your whole life, you've had this sense that you're meant for something significant, but you couldn't quite articulate what. You felt the calling, but couldn't hear the specifics. You've known you had gifts, but didn't know how to use them. But after November 12th, as you move into this new chapter, your purpose is going to reveal itself, not as something you have to search for, but as something that flows naturally from who you've become. You're going to wake up one morning and just know what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to serve, what your unique contribution to the world is meant to be. And here's what's beautiful about this. Your purpose is going to be connected to everything you've been through. The pain you experienced is going to become your ministry. The lessons you learned are going to become your teaching. The healing you received is going to become your service to others. Nothing you went through was wasted. Every tear, every dark night, every moment of despair. It was all preparing you to help others who are going through what you've already overcome. You're being called to be a light for others, to shine so brightly in your truth that you illuminate the path for people who are still lost in the darkness you escaped. Fourth, you're going to enter what I call the age of light, after spending so long in the age of darkness. And this is not metaphorical. This is experiential. You're going to feel it in your body, in your energy, in the way you move through the world. Everything is going to feel lighter, easier, more flowing. The heaviness that's been weighing on you for years is going to lift. The anxiety that's been your constant companion is going to dissolve. The depression that clouded your vision is going to clear. And in its place, you're going to experience joy, peace, excitement, gratitude, hope. Emotions that have been foreign to you for so long that you forgot what they felt like. You're going to wake up in the morning and actually want to get out of bed. You're going to look at your day ahead and feel anticipation instead of dread. You're going to interact with people and feel connected instead of isolated. You're going to pursue your goals and feel inspired instead of exhausted. This is what life feels like when you're in alignment with your soul, when you're walking in your purpose, when you're living from your authentic self rather than from conditioning and fear. Fifth, and this might be the most shocking part, you're going to receive back everything you lost, but multiplied. Relationships that ended are going to be replaced with connections that are so much deeper and more authentic. Money you lost is going to return as opportunities that generate far more than you lost. Time you feel you wasted is going to be redeemed as wisdom and experience that serve your purpose. Health you compromised is going to be restored as vitality and energy you've never experienced before. Dreams that died are going to be resurrected as visions that are bigger and better than the original. This is not just restoration. This is multiplication. This is not just getting back to where you were. This is quantum leaping into a reality you couldn't have accessed if you hadn't gone through what you went through. The universe doesn't just fill the holes that loss created. The universe expands you through the loss and then fills the expanded space with blessings that match your new capacity. You can hold more now. You can receive more now. You can handle more now. And so you're about to be given more. Now let me tell you why November 12th specifically is the date when all of this begins to accelerate and manifest. Because you might be wondering what's so special about this particular day. November 12th, 2025 carries a unique energetic signature. Numerologically, it reduces to a master number that represents completion and new beginnings occurring simultaneously. Astrologically, there are planetary alignments happening that open portals for manifestation. that thin the veil between the spiritual and physical realms, that amplify intention and accelerate timelines. Spiritually, this date marks a collective turning point where chosen ones all over the planet are simultaneously graduating from the refining process and stepping into their power. But more than the cosmic significance, November 12th is significant for you personally because of where you are in your journey. You've completed the preparation phase. You've passed the tests. You've proven your worthiness, not through perfection, but through persistence. Not through never falling, but through always getting back up. Not through avoiding pain, but through transforming pain into power. And now the universe is saying, enough. You've suffered enough. You've learned enough. You've grown enough. It's time. It's time for you to receive. It's time for you to rise. It's time for you to shine. And I need to tell you something that most spiritual teachers won't say because they're afraid of sounding too definitive, too bold, too certain. But I'm going to say it anyway because you need to hear it. This is your moment. This is your time. This is the season you've been waiting for, praying for, crying out for in the middle of sleepless nights. And if you don't recognize it, if you don't step into it, if you don't claim it with every fiber of your being, you will miss it. Not because the universe is punishing you, but because divine timing waits for no one. Opportunities have windows. Seasons have expiration dates. And this particular window, this specific season, it's opening now, and it will close after November 12th passes, and the energy shifts again. So what do you need to do? How do you position yourself to receive everything that's about to be released into your life? Let me give you the practical, actionable steps that will determine whether you ride this wave or watch it pass by. First, you need to close every door to your past that's still open. And I mean every single one. That ex you're still texting late at night when you're lonely. Block them. That friend who only calls when they need something but is never there when you need support. Remove them from your life. That job that's been draining your soul for a paycheck. Start preparing your exit strategy. That city that holds nothing but painful memories. Begin planning your relocation. That addiction, that coping mechanism, that numbing behavior you've been using to avoid feeling your feelings. It's time to face it, heal it, release it. You cannot enter a new reality while holding on to the old one. You cannot receive new blessings while your hands are still gripping what you should have let go of years ago. The universe is trying to give you something, but your hands are full of garbage. Empty them, let go, surrender, release. And I know this is terrifying because these things, these people, these patterns, they've been your security blanket even though they've also been your prison. But you have to trust that what's coming is so much better than what you're releasing that you won't even remember why you held on so tightly. Second, you need to radically elevate your standards and expectations. One of the reasons chosen ones stay stuck even after they've done the inner work is because they've been conditioned to accept less than they deserve. You've been taught to be grateful for crumbs when you deserve the whole feast. You've been taught to lower your expectations so you won't be disappointed. You've been taught that wanting more is selfish or greedy or unrealistic. And all of that teaching needs to be unlearned immediately. You are about to enter a season of abundance. But abundance can only flow to someone who believes they're worthy of receiving it. If you still have poverty consciousness, if you're still operating from lack mentality, if you're still settling for mediocre relationships and low-paying jobs and small dreams because you don't believe better is possible, you will sabotage every blessing that tries to land in your life. You'll unconsciously reject opportunities that feel too good to be true. You'll push away people who treat you with the respect you deserve because you're not used to being treated well. You'll minimize your own success because you're afraid of outshining others. So before November 12th arrives, I need you to do a complete inventory of your life. Look at your relationships. Are they reciprocal? Do these people celebrate your wins, or secretly resent them? Do they support your growth or try to keep you small so you won't outgrow them? Look at your work. Does it utilize your gifts? Does it compensate you fairly? Does it give you space to grow or keep you stuck in the same position year after year? Look at your living situation. Does your environment inspire you or depress you? Does it reflect who you're becoming or who you used to be? Look at how you spend your time, your money, your energy. Is it aligned with your values? Is it moving you toward your goals? Is it honoring your truth? And wherever you find misalignment, make a plan to shift it. Not someday, not eventually, not when circumstances are perfect, now. Because November 12th is not just a random date I'm throwing at you to create urgency. November the 12th represents a cosmic deadline, a point beyond which the current energetic configuration shifts and different laws come into play. Right now, in this window leading up to that date, the universe is bending the rules of physics to accommodate chosen ones. Miracles that normally take years are happening in weeks. Manifestations that normally require massive effort are occurring through grace. But after this window closes, you'll be back to the normal rules of reality, where change is slow, where effort is required, where success takes time. Third, and this is crucial, you need to forgive everyone who hurt you. Not for their sake, for yours. Because unforgiveness is a chain that keeps you locked to your past. And you cannot move into your future while you're still chained to what happened before. Every person you haven't forgiven, every wrong you're still holding on to, every grudge you're still nursing, it's an anchor keeping you from ascending into the reality that's trying to manifest for you. And I know what you're thinking, but they don't deserve my forgiveness. They never apologized. They never acknowledged what they did. They're not even sorry. You're right. They probably don't deserve it, but you do. You deserve to be free from the poison of resentment. You deserve to be liberated from the prison of bitterness. You deserve to reclaim the energy you've been spending on hating them and redirect that energy toward building the life you actually want to live. Forgiveness doesn't mean what they did was okay. It doesn't mean you have to reconcile with them or let them back into your life. It doesn't mean you're weak or naive or letting them off the hook. Forgiveness means you're releasing the emotional charge around what happened so it no longer has power over you. It means you're choosing freedom over being right. It means you're trusting that karma, the universe, God, whatever you want to call the force that balances all things, will handle the justice you're craving while you focus on your own elevation. So between now and November 12th, I want you to make a list of every person who hurt you, betrayed you, abandoned you, used you, lied to you, manipulated you. Write their names down, and then one by one speak forgiveness over them. You can do this out loud or in your mind. You can write them a letter you never send. You can have a conversation with their energy in meditation. However you do it, release them. Cut the cords. Set yourself free. Fourth, you need to prepare yourself for the backlash that's coming. Because when you start rising, when you start shining, when you start operating at a frequency that most people can't access, there will be resistance, not from the universe, but from people around you who are still stuck in the consciousness you just graduated from. They're going to feel threatened by your transformation. They're going to try to pull you back down to where they are because your elevation forces them to confront their own stagnation. Some of this backlash will be obvious. People will directly criticize you, mock your changes, question your choices, predict your failure. But some of it will be subtle. People will suddenly need you more than they ever did before. Old friends will reappear asking for favors. Family members will create drama that demands your attention. Opportunities that look good but aren't aligned with your purpose will present themselves as distractions. And if you're not prepared for this, if you don't see it for what it is, spiritual warfare designed to derail you right before your breakthrough, you will fall for it. So you need to build what I call success armor. You need to develop such unshakable certainty in what you're doing and where you're going, that no amount of external negativity can knock you off course. You need to become so committed to your vision that other people's opinions become irrelevant. You need to get so clear on your boundaries that you can say no without guilt, without explanation, without feeling like you owe anyone access to you just because they want it. And here's the beautiful thing. The same energy that's bringing blessings into your life is also revealing who and what doesn't belong in your next chapter. Pay attention to who gets upset when you establish boundaries. Notice who disappears when you stop being available to their dysfunction. Observe who celebrates your wins and who goes silent. The universe is showing you exactly who deserves to be in your life going forward. Believe what you're being shown. Fifth, you need to step into your power with bold, visible action. One of the biggest mistakes chosen ones make is thinking that transformation is purely internal, that they can change on the inside while everything on the outside stays the same. But that's not how this works. Your external reality must reflect your internal shift, and that requires you to take actions that demonstrate your new level of consciousness. If you've been playing small, it's time to be seen. If you've been hiding your gifts, it's time to share them. If you've been waiting for permission, give it to yourself. If you've been preparing and planning and getting ready, it's time to launch. The universe responds to action. Faith without works is dead, and all the inner work you've done will mean nothing if you don't actualize it through choices and behaviors that match the person you've become. So what's the thing you've been afraid to do? What's the dream you've been too scared to pursue? What's the truth you've been too intimidated to speak? Between now and November 12th, do it. Say it. Start it. Even if you're terrified, even if you don't feel ready, even if you can't see how it's all going to work out, the readiness comes through the doing, not before it. The path appears as you walk it, not before you take the first step. Sixth, and this is the final piece that ties everything together, you need to understand that what's about to happen in your life is not just for you. Yes, you will benefit. Yes, your life will radically improve. Yes, you will experience blessings that make up for all the years of lack and struggle. But your elevation serves a purpose beyond your personal happiness. You are being raised up to become a beacon for others. You are being blessed so you can be a blessing. You are being healed so you can be a healer. You are being transformed so you can show others that transformation is possible. Every chosen one who successfully navigates this shift becomes a living testament to divine grace, to redemption, to the truth that no matter how dark your past, your future can be radiant. And when people see what happens in your life after November 12th, when they witness the miraculous turnaround, when they observe the peace and joy and abundance you carry, they're going to want what you have. And that's when your real work begins. That's when you get to turn around and pull others up the same way you were pulled up. That's when your pain becomes your ministry and your testimony becomes someone else's hope. So as you prepare for this shift, don't just think about what you're going to receive. Think about what you're going to give. Don't just focus on how your life will improve. Focus on how your transformation will impact others. Don't just celebrate your personal victory. Recognize it as the beginning of a larger mission that extends far beyond you. Now let me speak directly to the doubts I know are swirling in your mind right now. Part of you wants to believe everything I'm telling you. Part of you feels the truth of these words resonating in your soul. But another part of you, the part that's been disappointed before, the part that's gotten its hopes up only to watch them crash, the part that's afraid to believe because belief makes you vulnerable, that part is saying, this sounds too good to be true. This sounds like spiritual bypassing. This sounds like toxic positivity that ignores reality. I understand that doubt. I honor that skepticism because you've been hurt. You've been let down. You've trusted before and been betrayed. So let me be clear. I'm not selling you fantasy. I'm not peddling false hope. I'm not telling you that if you just think positive thoughts, all your problems will magically disappear. What I'm telling you is that you have done the work. You have walked through the fire. You have been refined and transformed. And now, as a natural consequence of that transformation, your external reality is about to align with your internal state. This is not wishful thinking. This is spiritual law. As above, so below. As within, so without. You have changed who you are at the deepest level, and the universe must reflect that change back to you through circumstances, opportunities, relationships, and experiences that match your new frequency. This is not me promising you something I hope will happen. This is me confirming what is already in motion, what has already been set into place, what is already making its way to you. But you have to meet it halfway. You have to do your part. You have to take the actions I've outlined. You have to release what needs to be released, elevate your standards, forgive those who hurt you, prepare for resistance, step into your power, and embrace your purpose. The universe will move mountains for you, but you have to take the first step. God will open doors for you, but you have to walk through them. The miracle is already here, but you have to have eyes to see it and the courage to receive it. So here's what I need you to do right now. In this moment, before you close this message and go back to scrolling or worrying or living in the old version of your life, make a decision. Decide that November 12th is going to be the marker, the line in the sand, the moment you look back on years from now and say, that's when everything changed. Decide that you're not going to waste this opportunity, this window, this divine moment that's been orchestrated specifically for you. Decide that you're going to show up for yourself with the same intensity and commitment that the universe is showing up for you. Write "I am ready" in the comments if you haven't already. Share this message with other chosen ones who need to hear it. Save it, come back to it. Let it be the reminder that pulls you back to center when doubt creeps in, when fear tries to convince you nothing is changing, when the old patterns try to reassert themselves. And most importantly, trust what's coming. Trust the process. Trust that everything you've been through was preparing you for everything you're about to receive. Trust that your suffering had purpose. Trust that your transformation is real. Trust that November 12th marks the beginning of the best chapter of your life. You are chosen. You are ready. You are worthy. And your time is now. The shift is coming. The blessings are already on their way. The life you've been dreaming of is about to become your reality. All you have to do is believe it, receive it, and step into it. Welcome to your new beginning. Welcome to the other side of the storm. Welcome to the life you were always meant to live.